Hey, I'm Nick Millard, and welcome back to PVD POV, where we bring you the new insights into the coolest little city in the smallest state. Whether you're a local looking to uncover hidden gems or a visitor eager to dive into vibrant culture, we've got you covered. Normally, I'd be joined by my co-host Alana, and that's why this intro is a little bit awkward here, but she had her baby finally, and congratulations to her, little baby Summer. We hope she's doing well. And this is also going to be an awkward episode because I'm actually not going to be talking because she recorded this actually before she left, and I wasn't able to be on it that day because I was sick. So it's a little weird today, but we are interviewing the wonderful people at the Centreville Bank Stadium, the new stadium in Pawtucket for soccer or football, however you want to call it. We sat down, or she sat down, with David Peart, the president of Rhode Island Football Club, and then Paul Byrne, which is the stadium's general manager, to talk about everything that's gone into making this place a true game changer for sports and events in Rhode Island. They have soccer matches, rugby championships, local food, concerts, and then even some baby showers that we're booking baby showers at this event place, which is awesome. So turn it up and get ready to experience Providence from a whole new perspective.
Welcome back to PVD POV. I'm Alana O'Hare. We are live from Centreville Bank Stadium in Pawtucket. So happy to be here with a gorgeous breeze on the river. And I am joined by David Peart, the Rhode Island FC Club president, and Paul Byrne, the general manager here at the stadium. Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you for being here.
And we are wrapping up what's been a very busy opening month for the team and for the stadium. So let's start off telling us about how the first couple of events, first home game in the new stadium and first couple of other events have been here.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, it has been incredible. It really has. We've spent a good deal of time of focusing on how to bring an incredible experience to Rhode Islanders here, and I have to say I'm pretty proud to say we've done it.
Definitely. It's been a long time coming, it's felt like. I mean, you've been here for 3 years. You said you were one of the first employees, and it's finally here. And I can tell you, if you haven't been to the stadium yet, it is absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't seen the stadium in a while throughout the process of it being built, you'll be blown away by it. It's like state of the art, brand new, gorgeous. And it's good. I've seen all of the chatter on social media. All of the events look absolutely packed, and they've gotten good reception.
No, it's been incredible. I mean, our first game was definitely one for the books. You know, it was packed in here, an incredible atmosphere. We also, right after that first game, we had Women's Elite Rugby the next day. So we don't do things too simple around here. We did back-to-back, so it was an incredible action-packed weekend.
Quick turnover, I'm sure.
It was incredible. Yeah, we were able to show the versatility of the stadium. So not only do we have incredible Rhode Island FC home games, but we bring in all sorts of other events as well.
Yeah. Now, how has the team liked playing here at their new official home stadium?
Well, from a team perspective, the opening month couldn't have gone any better. And I think, to Paul's point, from our perspective, a lot of time and energy and anxiety went into preparing for the first month and the first game. And it could not have gone off any better from our standpoint. And what I keep taking away from the experience over the first 4 home games that we've had and the other events that have been here is this is a venue that is absolutely befitting for Rhode Island and the fans of this area. And so from that standpoint, right, anytime you prepare to have guests over to your home, right, all that energy and work that goes into preparing your place for visitors, it was incredibly rewarding to be able to show the stadium off, the venue off, the functionality, all of the aspects that make this uniquely Rhode Island and unique to the Ocean State. And to be able to bring live professional sports back to Rhode Island in a venue like this is really, really powerful, really fun.
One of the most Rhode Island things that I can think of off the bat is food, right? Because we care about our food, we're picky about our food, and I've heard amazing things about the vendors here. I know you've got Mavens and other local operators, and so how has that been received by the fans from near and far so far?
Oh, it's been incredible. It was important to us to stay local. right? So we've heard Rhode Islanders. We heard that you would love to have Rhode Island fare. We have a lobster roll. We have Maven's, an incredible pastrami sandwich, the hottest pastrami sandwich, incredible pretzels.
Yes.
If you get a chance to try the pretzels, you need to. They're made right on site. As well as, drinks as well. The Guild is one of our partners here in Pawtucket, has created their own beer for us. So it's really been received very well from the community.
I think from the outset, that's something that's been really important from the management of the building standpoint and the team standpoint. Also, you'll see familiar faces from a partnership perspective as well, the sponsors of the team, the naming rights partner for this building. It was really important from our ownership's perspective to be authentic to this area. And Centreville Bank can't be a better partner, right? A community bank with commitment to the community and all of the branches throughout the state of Rhode Island. For us, not only to feature food that's familiar to folks here that they'll enjoy, in addition to that, to see those partners here from the area that are supporting the franchise, which is critically important to the success of this team and viability of this building as well. So that's another important part.
The other big piece about the food end of things is our partner is called Levy Restaurants. So we're a national company. But what was important to us was to create our own food brand. So our food brand is 401 Collective. So what has done is given us the ability to be out in front of it. So most venues kind of stand behind a little bit. We're out in front of our food. We're intentional. So 401 Collective really brings all of those kind of flavors and experience together.
Rhode Islanders appreciate that. We know from a tourism perspective, Rhode Islanders, they want a brand that's representative of them and of the food that they love. And from a tourism perspective also, being the CVB and the Sports Commission, we know that this stadium is a huge venue opportunity for things like your international game, the rugby championship that's bringing in spectators and visitors from across the world potentially. And so for them to come here, and even if they don't end up venturing far from the stadium or spending several days in the area, which of course we hope they do, they get to have a little taste of Rhode Island while they're here. And it's, the river, it's a beautiful view, so it's a kind of a good representation of the city. So from a visitor perspective, we really appreciate the intentionality that went into it. And
you got to have Dells, right?
Yes, obviously. And you have to know how to drink it.
Oh, I know. Everyone's learning. Every time I hear, I got to have my Dells. But
you're both from out of state. So did you have a Dells when you first moved here, or?
Well, of course.
Obviously. It was part of the
100%.
And stuffies and,
right.
And all that goes along with it, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
From a visitor's perspective, I think we've already invested time in commissioning a report, and we see the importance and significance of this building and this team beyond just the core fan base that will be from Rhode Island. And so the report that we've recently commissioned indicates to us that we will have approximately 45,000 visitors that come from outside the state of Rhode Island for events here in this venue. And so they're like the international soccer match and Major League Rugby championship that will be played here. Anytime that we can showcase what's so unique and special about Rhode Island, and this can be your entry point or another reason why you might want a vacation here or spend money, those 45,000 folks that will be coming from outside the state, those are dollars that likely would not be captured in this community, would not be captured for a dinner beforehand or a hotel night afterwards. So that's really important from our perspective. We talk about, from a team perspective, and I know Paul and I think about this a lot, this venue is soccer and more. So yes, we've got 18 soccer matches that are associated with Rhode Island FC, but this should be the impetus to bring a lot of other events and a lot of other people who may not have a connection to this team or the sport of soccer here to Rhode Island, here to the Blackstone Valley. And that's a really important thing. The millions of dollars that those individuals will spend here, there's no other opportunity to capture it unless they're coming to events at this stadium.
And is that 45,000 just from soccer games, or is that soccer games plus the ancillary events?
It would be soccer plus. So It is over the course, we estimate the number of events eventually on an annual basis that we will have here. soccer being about 18 of those events. There'll be a lot more. But the 45,000 folks coming from the region outside of Rhode Island specifically will be for soccer and more.
That's great. And that's just in the first year.
That's right.
And there was no soft launch. We were talking about this with some of your colleagues a couple of weeks ago in the office, because the Sports Commission obviously works very closely with you. But there was no soft launch. Oh, let's see how it goes, how the games are working. Because as you said, you had your opening game. You switched right over to 2 now women's rugby events. You've got the international game coming up. So what was the thought process behind that? Was it kind of just like, there's these opportunities and we got to take advantage of them now?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the stadium and everything around it has been very publicized. Folks are chomping literally at the bit to get into the building, so you're not saying no. So we're opening our arms. We want to make sure that the building is used not just for a season, but for the entire year.
Right.
So I'm being quite bullish about this. Really trying to be different, bring in different types of events, not just sporting events. But we're looking into like food truck festivals, and we want to utilize that river as much as we can down there, and look into like this inflatable festival type thing. So community events, we've already had a good amount of events in our club area. We have the Pawtucket Foundation here, Boys and Girls Club. I have a baby shower coming up soon. So a little bit of everything in the building here.
There's a baby shower like on the field?
In the club area here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind, future moms.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Jonathan Walker with the Sports Commission, right? He's been a guest on our podcast, and we love Johnny Walker. He has always talked about he would never turn down a new venue in the state. He says that there's so much sports business and it's growing, and a new venue would do well in the state. And you're pretty much proving that you opened your doors and you're already kind of filling up space and time.
We're a unique venue. There's really nothing like us,
Right.
really in this area. There's no comparable.
No,
There's other buildings that might be a similar size, but they don't have the experience and amenities that we have.
Right.
Like we talked about food. There's a seat for everyone in the stadium. You don't have bench seating. You have production. We have all of the bells and whistles that you would find at Gillette Stadium. So with this intimate setting, it really blows people away from, if they're trying to do an event kind of in a bigger building and they don't really get the atmosphere. Here, you're right on top of it. You get great atmosphere.
Now, talk about the international game. I know that there's one coming up, but then I'm sure that there will be more in the future, and maybe about that process in securing it, bidding for it, but also the importance of bringing that audience to the stadium.
My background, I worked in Houston, Texas for quite a while with the Houston Dynamo, and one of our biggest drivers was international soccer. So we would bring in a good amount of Central American countries as well as Mexican teams. So I built a pretty good portfolio of folks promoters I'd work with. Some of those are now up here, and we'll have this Puerto Rico-Nicaragua match, talking with a few other Central American countries that are very influential in this market that'll come to fruition. And, with the World Cup right on our heels, what better time to have international soccer, national teams play in this venue as right now. So we're super excited about it.
It's a huge opportunity in the World Cup. We're getting ready for it as well. Like you said, when we find out who those teams are that are coming up to the Gillette Stadium, but also we're going to be spending time in Boston and going to be spending time down here in Rhode Island. As we know, it's a very quick drive to Gillette. So we've been kind of getting ourselves integrated into the soccer world. But it's very clear that there's an audience for soccer in Rhode Island.
There is an audience for soccer in Rhode Island, in North America, and it's growing in popularity significantly. From our perspective, the collaborating from a stadium perspective and a team perspective, what's really important is that we grow the sport, right? We're invested in promoting and growing the sport at all levels, whether it be youth and amateur soccer. We had 800 kids play on the pitch the week before we opened the building in a 5-on-5 tournament that was really the first opportunity for us to showcase this building and to do it in such a way that we could promote the sport of soccer at a really grassroots level. International soccer is another way for us to promote it, right? This is a super multicultural community. And so for us, to introduce this building and our team to fans of another nation. That's a really important thing for us to do. And we'll have a lot more of that as well, right? We want to make sure that folks think about not just this team, but the sport of soccer as a viable entertainment option for them. That's really important. And then, as you said, with World Cup here in this region in 26, U.S. Soccer indicates that the popularity of soccer in North America will increase by 30%.
Wow.
And so that's a dramatic increase, especially in the landscape of, all of the different professional sports that exist here. It's an opportunity for us to make sure that folks that maybe are interested or intrigued by the sport or have an avid interest in the sport, that they'll find their way to Rhode Island FC games or this stadium to see their national team play. So it's a really important part of what we're doing, which is beyond just selling our team specifically. We want to make sure we promote the sport as well.
Definitely. I saw it in action because my kids play in Coventry youth soccer, and they had a Coventry night here a little while ago where the kids got to come and watch a game and loved it. Just seeing like the magnitude of a field like this that they had never seen. So that was pretty cool. I mean, they're used to the youth field in Coventry, and they didn't know that it could look like this.
And for us, what's really fun, really interesting is that soccer aligns really well demographically with this state and with this region. And so if you're my age or older, you're probably a baseball fan. You're probably a fan of one of the other sports, Patriots, season ticket holders, something of that nature. But if you're my kids' age or younger, your kids' age, they're more likely to have played soccer. They're more likely to have a soccer player as their favorite athlete, right? That they aspire to grow up to be, Messi, or someone like that. And so we feel like we're positioned really well for the future of spectator sport. And that's another reason why it's so important to have this team here, this brand new building to showcase the sport as well.
Yeah. And the versatility, like you said, is incredible. Now, without any spoiler alerts, whatever you can say, is there anything that people can look forward to that might be a different type of an event that you're looking to do here?
I'm glad you asked that. I'm working really, really hard on getting our first concert in here. So
very nice.
This is, I could fit about 17,000 people in here. And what a backdrop of the river behind us, and again, accessibility into this area. So, one of the other big drivers about the stadium was getting people into this area again, making Pawtucket what it used to be.
Right.
So, tons of comments from fans are saying how easy it is to get in and out of here. Very easy to get in and out of the stadium. So we're excited about that. It was a bit of a concern, I think, across the board, parking and traffic, but we've quelled a lot of those comments.
Yeah, there's plenty of parking. And then when you look at the map, there's the parking that's here that might be for certain audiences, but then across the way, even over by like the Apex building, is parking. So, and a lot of people are probably taking public transit too, but it couldn't be easier in terms of being off the highway, which is big for, as you've seen from Rhode Islanders, we don't like to drive far. So if it's right off the highway, that's a game changer.
We have an incredible partnership with RIPTA as well. They've provided 2 dedicated buses for our fans from that Apex area that you're just speaking about. So that was a bit of a concern as well. Families or older fans, getting back and forth from the stadium can use this bus, and it's been terrific. Absolutely terrific. They branded them all in our RFC brand, and they're utilized throughout the city as well. So it's been a great partnership with them.
And the other big event that we've got coming up, but we've been working closely with the team on, is the Major League Rugby Championship, which was one of the first big events that I heard coming to the stadium in working with the Sports Commission and the CVB team. And we've been working with the MLR team. And this is a huge deal. And again, rugby, kind of one of those sports that you know about, but maybe people don't follow it as closely. But when a championship comes to Pawtucket, and I believe it's branded as the Rhode Island Championships, right? And which speaks to the nature of our state and how kind of close everything is. This is a really big deal.
This is a huge deal. I mean, to be able to have a championship the first year of the building open is unprecedented,
first
honestly.
month.
Yeah, so we're very, very excited about it. I mean, I don't know if you've been to rugby. If you get a chance, you should check out the women that are playing here on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're incredible. But rugby in general is a kind of a gentleman's sport. I mean, really, really rough, but the camaraderie is incredible, and the fans they bring in from out of state are incredible as well. So definitely excited for that championship. Excited to showcase the state, once again, to be able to be on national television, to bring in a championship level sport, and can't wait to get that kicked off on June 28th.
Noah, how has the planning for the rest of the year gone? When does the soccer season end?
So our season runs from the middle of March through the end of October.
Okay.
And then postseason afterwards. If you're new to the team or sport, this team made it to the championship game last year. So won the conference and went on to the championship game in Colorado Springs. So we're looking forward to another exciting long season. Knock on wood, we'll be competitive again in the postseason. But there's a lot of soccer left, and we have a stretch of games in June and July that we think are can't miss. We've got fireworks and other events and activities that will take place here as a part of our schedule coming up. And what's really exciting from our standpoint, and we spent a lot of time working on this, is the tickets are incredibly affordable. This is family fun, without a doubt. And so we did a great deal of research. We looked at the things that were most popular when the Paw Sox were here, and we tried to adopt those as a part of our plans.
Affordability is one of them.
Affordability is a really important thing. And from our standpoint, bringing a family of 4 here for a game is about as expensive as going to see a Marvel movie on a Saturday night. And so we have concession discounts on certain nights, but the tickets are incredibly affordable. And it's a cliche in sports. Every building you go to, folks say, well, there's not a bad seat in the house. But really, there's not a single bad seat in this building, right? That's the unique aspect of it. It's so incredibly intimate. If you are an avid sports fan, you're going to come here and be blown away. If you don't go to many sporting events, I think you will come here and say, I need to go to more, right? That's how thrilling and how close it is. And then the crowds that we've had here and the energy, and there's nuances related to soccer and soccer fandom that make this a really, really exciting experience, right? The march to the match, where you have fans literally coming down Taft Street leading up to the start of the game, and the supporter section, which is basically right behind where we're sitting here, and the energy and excitement associated with it. And there's a direct correlation between the fans and supporters and the team. This is a community's team. And soccer is one of those spectator sports that sort of transcends, the separation between fans and the players. In fact, we do a post-game autograph session where kids under 14 will literally go to the playing surface, and all of the players will come over and autograph for them.
I must love that.
Absolutely, right? And think about that experience,
right,
to be, a hand away from a professional athlete, an elite player. That's exactly right.
Other teams.
That's exactly right. And in a lot of spectator sport, right, they're often looking to soccer and try to adopt traditions and elements of a soccer experience and bring them to football or baseball or whatever it might be. Well, this is authentic, right? This experience is incredibly authentic. And so I say to folks all the time, I'm not a soccer guy. I've never played the game, and I never worked in soccer before, but there's a magical component related to the soccer experience that I think just blows people away. It's very addictive, right? You get connected to it.
It definitely sounds like something that people, even if they're not soccer fans, that they need to check out for a family night. Like, what kid wouldn't love going on the field, meeting the players? The march sounds awesome. So did you line up early for that?
So we have one of the remote parking lots over by the old Apex building,
Yep.
right? That's the tailgate lot. And that's where the supporters, the group of most loyal fans, they actually start there. And then that march to the match begins with those. They've got drums and horns and chants. And so from that Apex lot down Main Street and Taft to the stadium front door, and folks join them in mass. It's a really great experience.
You have to be part of the supporter group to be in the march.
You do not. In
So
fact,
I can just wear the colors and go in.
You don't even have to wear the colors. We hope you do, but you don't have to wear the colors. But that's the other great thing about soccer is it's inclusive.
Right.
Right. And you don't have to be the most avid fan to enjoy in a ritual like that, or to enjoy and be a part of the chants that take place.
So you might just be coming here for the food and then fall in love with soccer later.
We hope so.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time today, guys. This sounds awesome. We look forward to the rest of the season, the Major League Rugby Championships, all of the cool events you've got coming up. And we encourage everyone to check out the schedule, get some tickets, take the family if you want, and definitely stop by the stadium. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
PVD POV is a podcast hosted by the Providence Warwick Convention and Visitors Bureau in collaboration with the College of Hospitality Management and Center of Media Production at Johnson & Wales University. Hosts are Alana Cerrone O'Hare and Nick Millard. Production by Professor Brian Lavin with assistance from the graduate students in tourism management. Episodes are available wherever you download your podcasts. Visit GoProvidence.com for more information on these stories and everything else Providence.